Okay, Sean totally trusts this kid. What was your takeaway watching?
What are you giving Bo Nix? What grade?
I'm giving Bo Nix an A+.
And I would say Sean Payton certainly is that. He's a phenomenal coach and a quarterback that wants to embrace that opportunity to learn a skill set of how to manage a game.
The trajectory of Bo Nix's career represents one of the most compelling narratives of resilience and professional evolution in modern American football. To understand the current state of the Denver Broncos and the revitalization of their franchise, one must first look back at the skepticism that once defined the public perception of their young signal caller. There was a time when the consensus among analysts was that Nix had peaked during his collegiate years, suggesting that the initial promise he showed as a five-star recruit had effectively evaporated. Critics frequently labeled him a flameout, a talented player who had reached his ceiling far too early. However, the reality of Bo Nix's journey is far more complex, characterized by a refusal to accept the endings others tried to write for him. From the heartbreak and intense scrutiny he faced at Auburn to his eventual rebirth at Oregon, and now to his role as the leader of a sleeping giant in Denver, Nix has consistently proven that every time he is written off, he simply prepares to write a more dominant chapter. Today, the legends of the game and the most respected voices in the NFL are no longer questioning his potential. They are analyzing his unstoppable rise. The narrative of Bo Nix began with the weight of destiny. As a lifelong Auburn fan, his path seemed preordained when he stepped into the starting role for the Tigers as a true freshman. For a time, it appeared his ascent would be linear, but the volatility of college football eventually took its toll. His performance at Auburn eventually plateaued, leading to a period of intense public criticism as his play seemed to fall off a cliff. This necessitated a drastic change, leading the disgraced former five-star prospect to transfer across the country to the University of Oregon.
It was in the Pacific Northwest that Nix underwent a radical transformation, emerging as an elite NFL prospect capable of standing alongside the likes of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May. Despite concerns regarding his age, being 24 by draft night, his collegiate experience became his greatest asset. One of Auburn's most iconic alumni, the 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton, provided a fascinating perspective on Nix's talent during the pre-draft process. Newton compared Nix to Brock Purdy, noting that Nix possesses an extreme level of skill and an underrated ability to run when defenses least expected. Newton observed that while Nix had previously struggled with consistency, being the best in the country when things were going well and struggling when adversity hit, his upside was undeniable. Newton correctly predicted that Nix would be a steal in the draft because of his ability to make every throw on the field when he is in a rhythm. When draft night finally arrived, Bo Nix was the final quarterback selected in the first round, going 12th overall to the Denver Broncos. This placement put him in what many considered an ideal environment to fulfill the potential Newton had described. In Denver, Nix was paired with Sean Payton, an offensive mastermind whose reputation as a quarterback guru rivaled that of Kyle Shanahan. While Shanahan has been praised for his work with Brock Purdy and various backup quarterbacks in San Francisco, Sean Payton brought a historic track record of maximizing talent, most notably through his legendary partnership with Drew Brees. Joining the Denver Broncos meant entering a franchise with some of the loftiest expectations in professional sports, a legacy built by Hall of Famers like John Elway and Peyton Manning, both of whom secured Super Bowl championships during their tenures in Mile High.
Peyton Manning himself had stayed in touch with Nix since his time at Auburn and expressed immense enthusiasm about the fit between the young quarterback and Sean Payton's system. Manning described the Broncos' offensive scheme as extremely quarterback-friendly, a sentiment echoed by many who watched the success of Drew Brees and Tony Romo within similar structures. Manning noted that the environment of competition in Denver would only serve to sharpen Nix's skills, ensuring the position was in capable hands. The endorsement from Drew Brees added even more weight to Nix's rookie campaign. Brees, who understands Sean Payton's coaching style better than almost anyone, offered crucial advice to the rookie: be just as demanding back to the coach. Brees explained that Payton appreciates a quarterback who is confident, sure of himself, and willing to engage in the rigors of a high-pressure offensive environment. Nix clearly took this advice to heart. After an initial period of adjustment at the start of the 2024 season, he began to demonstrate the poise of a veteran, eventually leading the Broncos to the playoffs as one of the standout rookie performers of the year. Even Jameis Winston, who worked under Payton in New Orleans, noted that Payton's belief in Nix was likely years in the making. Winston suggested that Payton has a unique ability to coach to a player's specific strengths and that he likely identified Nix as his future quarterback long before the draft actually took place. This long-term vision has manifested in Nix getting better with every passing week, showing a consistent upward trajectory that has impressed teammates and rivals alike. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner also weighed in on Nix's development, praising his efficiency and his willingness to execute the offense as designed. Warner noted that many rookie quarterbacks feel the need to do too much or force the ball downfield constantly, but Nix showed the maturity to just play the play.
By realizing he didn't have to carry the entire team on every snap, Nix became a perfect complementary piece to Denver's elite defense. This synergy allowed the Broncos to remain competitive in every game. Perhaps the most significant praise came from Tom Brady, the undisputed greatest of all time, who highlighted the trust being built between Payton and Nix. Brady explained that when a play caller trusts the quarterback to make good decisions, it opens up the entire playbook. Brady observed Nix's ability to understand the why behind every play, understanding how to beat man coverage, how to manipulate zone defenses, and how to manage the game in critical situations. According to Brady, this intellectual approach to the game allows a quarterback to manage the play even when the initial look isn't what they wanted, turning potential negatives into positive gains. The respect for Nix's game extends beyond the offensive side of the ball. Kansas City Chiefs star defensive tackle Chris Jones expressed his admiration for Nix's patience and decisiveness. Jones, who watched Nix's progression from Auburn to Oregon, described him as a winner who knows how to manage a game and take calculated risks. This respect was further solidified during a narrow encounter with the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium, where the Broncos only lost due to a blocked field goal. After that game, Patrick Mahomes reportedly told Sean Payton, "You got one," a massive endorsement from a division rival and the premier quarterback in the league. Although the 2024 season ended in the wildcard round, the progress Nix showed over 17 games set the stage for an even more explosive sophomore effort in 2025. During the offseason, Sean Payton doubled down on his belief in Nix, asserting that he would be one of the top quarterbacks in the league for a long time.
Payton noted that Nix had become significantly faster at processing information, spitting out plays in the huddle with more authority, and handling an increased volume of offensive responsibility. Preparing for his second season, Nix spent time with Drew Brees to further refine his skill set. Brees noted that Nix entered his sophomore year with a whole new level of comfort and a specific plan for improvement. With 61 college starts under his belt, Nix possessed a level of maturity and experience that is rare for a player of his age. This maturity, combined with his background as a multi-sport athlete, gave him the physical traits and the mental demeanor necessary to excel at the NFL level. Despite a stumbling 1-2 start to the 2025 season that caused some critics to briefly resurface, Nix quickly silenced them with a series of dominant performances. In a high-stakes Week 4 matchup against Cincinnati, he threw for 3 touchdowns to keep the season alive. He followed this by leading an incredible comeback against the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles, overcoming a 2-score deficit in the fourth quarter to shock the crowd in Philadelphia. Broncos legend John Elway attributed this clutch gene to Nix's extensive collegiate experience and his competitive nature. Elway pointed out that Nix's ability to maintain a winning mentality, even when trailing 17-3 against a championship-caliber team, is what separates him from other young quarterbacks. Former Broncos head coach and defensive mastermind Vic Fangio also praised Nix's unique threat, describing him as a dangerous scrambler and a fierce competitor who isn't afraid to throw into tight windows. Fangio remarked that the Broncos had been searching for a franchise quarterback for many years and had finally found their man.
The momentum continued as Nix led the Broncos through a difficult schedule, including a defensive battle in London against the Jets, before returning to Mile High for a historic matchup against the New York Giants. The game against the Giants served as a definitive moment for the young quarterback. After being shut out for the first 3 quarters and facing a 19-0 deficit entering the fourth, Nix orchestrated an improbable rally to win 33-32. This performance prompted Super Bowl 50 champion Aqib Talib to advocate for an even more expensive role for Nix, particularly in the running game. Talib noted that Nix is deadly with his legs, possessing a sneaky athleticism that punishes defenses when they focus too heavily on the passing attack. In that comeback victory, Nix recorded 2 passing touchdowns and nearly 280 yards through the air, while adding 2 more scores on the ground with an average of nearly 10 yards per carry. This dual threat capability makes him virtually unstoppable, as he can dismantle a defense in multiple ways depending on what the situation requires. With an offensive guru like Sean Payton guiding him and a defense that can play at an elite level, the ceiling for Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos in 2025 and beyond appears limitless. Every legendary era in Denver's storied history has begun with a specific spark, and it is now clear that the spark for this generation wears number 10. Bo Nix has transitioned from being an overlooked and criticized prospect to becoming the cornerstone of a franchise, earning the hard-won respect of legends, rivals, and teammates. The most intimidating reality for the rest of the league is that despite his current success, he is only just getting started. His journey from the struggles of the SEC to the heights of the NFL serves as a testament to his character and his unwavering belief in his own ability to lead. The Broncos have found their quarterback, and the league has found a new force to be reckoned with.
As he continues to master the nuances of Sean Payton's system, the efficiency and explosiveness of the Denver offense are expected to reach levels not seen since the days of Peyton Manning. The narratives of peaking in college have been thoroughly dismantled, replaced by a reality where Bo Nix is consistently mentioned among the most dangerous and prepared quarterbacks in professional football. Whether he is dissecting a zone defense with surgical precision or breaking off a long run to secure a first down, Nix has proven that he possesses the diverse skill set required to win in the modern NFL.
His ability to handle the pressure of the Denver market and the expectations of a championship-starved fan base further cements his status as a franchise leader. The Bo Nix era in Denver is no longer a hopeful projection. It is a current and dominant reality that is reshaping the power structure of the AFC West. As the 2025 season progresses, the focus remains on just how far this partnership between a Hall of Fame caliber coach and a battle-tested quarterback can go. The answer, based on everything seen thus far, is that they are headed toward the very top of the football world. The determination Nix showed during his lowest moments at Auburn has become the foundation of his professional success, proving that character is just as important as arm talent in the quest for greatness. With every victory and every fourth-quarter comeback, the legend of Bo Nix grows, turning a once-disgraced recruit into a symbol of Denver's football resurgence. The sleeping giant has indeed awoken, and it is being led by a quarterback who refuses to quit, refuses to be outworked, and refuses to let anyone else write his story. This is the definitive rise of a modern NFL star, a player who has silenced the doubters by letting his performance on the field do the talking.
As the league watches, it becomes increasingly clear that the Broncos didn't just find a replacement for their past legends, they found a new one to carry the torch into the future. The consistency, the poise, and the sheer competitive will displayed by Nix have transformed the culture in Denver, instilling a belief that no deficit is too large and no opponent is too formidable. This is the essence of what makes him unstoppable, a blend of physical talent, mental toughness, and an elite understanding of the game that few players ever achieve. The journey from Auburn heartbreak to Denver hero is complete, and yet for Bo Nix, the best is undoubtedly still to come. He has earned his place among the greats, not through hype, but through the relentless pursuit of excellence and a refusal to be defined by his failures. In the high-altitude air of Colorado, a new legacy is being forged, one touchdown at a time. The respect he has garnered from figures like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning is not given lightly. It is a recognition of a peer who has mastered the most difficult position in sports. As he continues to torch defenses and lead his team to victory, Bo Nix stands as a reminder that the loudest critics are often the most wrong, and the quietest work often leads to the most spectacular results. The Denver Broncos are back in the hunt, and they have Bo Nix to thank for their newfound dominance. The league has been put on notice, and the future of football in Mile High has never looked brighter. Every snap, every throw, and every run is a statement of intent from a player who has finally found his home and his purpose. The rise of Bo Nix is the story of the decade in Denver, a tale of redemption that will be told for years to come. In the end, it wasn't about the 5-star rating or the draft position. It was about the heart of a player who knew he belonged among the elite and worked until the rest of the world had no choice but to agree.
The saga of number 10 continues, and the world is watching to see just how high this rising star can soar.